I'm Hal Dowdy. I'm the fire chief with Durango Fire Protection District, and we're here at Station 2, which is the station that serves the downtown area of Durango, Colorado. And we're actually talking today about the need to replace this station. The station was actually put into service when the fire department was still a department of the city, and it was enacted as a fire station as a temporary move until they could build a new station. That was 1983, and so all these years later we're still here, and we really have a drastic need to move out. A big part of the concerns that we have and the problems that we're trying to address deal just with the safety and health issues associated with our crews being here.
This is going to simulate advancing a hose line into a house or a burning structure. We're at Durango Fire Protection District Station 2, and we're doing our functional ability test. It's a once-a-year physical test all firefighters have to take. It's a return to duty test. If we go out on injury, we have to perform this test in order to return to duty. It goes through all the motions of firefighting. At Station 2, it's a little tight. We share the building with city planning. We share it with the public. This is a road right in front of me. As you can see, we have a truck coming straight through our training grounds. So we get a lot of interruptions. We just had an emergency medical call, so we had to move all our hoses, get the appropriate personnel onto the right apparatus for response. So even when we're doing our training, we still have to respond. It's a little tight, so we face oncoming traffic as soon as we come out of here. We have the Children's Museum next door. Sometimes there's 25 little guys out here waiting for us to come out, unbeknownst to us. We open the bay doors and there's a group of children ready to knock on our door. So it does get a little tight down here. We have 6 men that sleep in this bunk room. It's a shared bunk room, so very close quarters. You can see a lot of the personal belongings on the ground, trip hazards, people waking up in the middle of the night to respond to emergency calls. They're woken up just from other firemen going to bed, and so you're woken up multiple times in the evening to respond to calls, and just from other people being in your living space, in your sleeping space. There's been a move from this in modern day firehouses where each fireman gets his own place to sleep, so there's a lot less disturbance in their sleep. So when they do get to sleep, they can recharge their batteries.
We have some pretty significant concerns about their ability to operate out of this safely, and there are a ton of national best practices for fire stations. Things that we didn't know back in the 80s when they were put here, like the advent of the ability to separate where the turnout gear is from the exhaust from the vehicles, and the constant re-exposure to products of combustion that our firefighters get if their clothing isn't able to be kept clean on a very regular basis. And so what we've learned now is that over the years, after constant exposure to issues like that, our turnout gear may very well be responsible for some of the high occurrence of cancer in firefighters. This station was designed actually to be an electrical warehouse, and so was never really designed to be a fire station, never designed to house crews that would live here for 24 or 48 hours at a time. As an example, 15 years ago, they had to come back in and add women's bathrooms, because at the time that it became a fire station, I don't think that there were any women in the fire service in Durango. And so we've done the best that we can getting by with this location, but there really are some pretty drastic concerns. The other thing that's happening is that the neighborhood is growing up. So we have the park right next door, we have the Discovery Museum, and it scares me to death every day to think about some child that shows up at the Discovery Museum and then is just really interested and drawn to the fire trucks, and my crew's trying to leave to go on an emergency call, and the opportunities for incursions like that. And so we're working really hard to try to get to the point where we can replace this station with a new modernized station that is purpose-built to be a fire station, that we can employ all of the current best practices and standards to protect those men and women that come to work every day to protect our community.